Digital calipers are one of the easiest ways to answer a simple question in the shop. What size is this? You can measure the outside of a shaft, the inside of a hole, the thickness of a part, or the depth of a pocket and get an answer in seconds. But there's a catch. Digital calipers can give you a very precise-looking number, even when the measurement isn't very good. The display might show 3 or 4 decimal places, but that doesn't mean all of those digits are correct. So let's look at how to use digital calipers correctly, and, more importantly, how to know whether you can trust the measurement. Before I measure anything, I close the jaws and check 0. The measuring surfaces should be clean, and the jaws should close completely. If the display doesn't return to 0, I want to know that before I measure the part, not afterward. For an outside measurement, use the larger lower jaws. Open them slightly larger than the part, place the part between the jaws, and gently close them until both jaws make contact. The key word there is gently. A caliper is a measuring tool, not a clamp. If I squeeze hard on the caliper, I can change the reading. If I use light pressure on one measurement and heavy pressure on the next, I can get 2 different answers from the same part. The goal is light, consistent measuring pressure. Alignment matters too. The jaws need to be square with the surfaces you're measuring. If the caliper is cocked at an angle, you may be measuring across a longer distance instead of the actual dimension you're trying to find. When I'm measuring something round, I'll usually move the caliper slightly while maintaining light contact. I'm looking for the position where the jaws are properly aligned across the diameter. Again, I'm not squeezing it. I'm finding the measurement. The smaller upper jaws are used for inside measurements. They can tell you the diameter of a hole or the distance between 2 inside surfaces. But inside measurements require the same attention to alignment. Put the jaws into the opening, expand them until they contact both sides, and make sure the caliper isn't tilted. A small change in position can change the number on the display. On the other end of the caliper is the depth rod. As the caliper opens, this rod extends from the end and can be used to measure the depth of a hole, slot, or recess. Keep the end of the caliper flat against the reference surface and extend the rod until it contacts the bottom. Many calipers can also make a step measurement using the surfaces on the back of the sliding body. That gives you 4 useful measuring functions in one tool: outside, inside, depth, and step. But regardless of which one I'm using, I don't like relying on a single measurement. I'll measure the part, back off, and measure it again. If I keep getting essentially the same number, that gives me more confidence in the result. If the readings keep changing, I need to find out why. The part itself can also cause problems. A burr, dirt, paint, rust, or even a chip stuck to the measuring surface can become part of your measurement. The caliper doesn't know the difference. It simply reports the distance between its measuring surfaces. That's why the condition of the part matters just as much as the caliper. And after I've finished measuring, I do one more thing. I close the jaws again and check 0. If I started at 0, got a repeatable measurement, and the caliper returns to 0 afterward, I have much more confidence in the number I just recorded. If it doesn't return to 0, I'm going to question that measurement and do it again. Digital calipers are extremely useful for identifying unknown dimensions, especially around a home shop. But don't let all those digits on the display create false confidence. Resolution and accuracy aren't the same thing, and even a good caliper can't correct poor measuring technique. Start with a clean tool and a clean part. Check 0. Keep the caliper aligned. Use light, consistent pressure. Take the measurement more than once. Then close the jaws and check 0 again. Do that, and the number on the display becomes a lot more useful. This video is part of our Tools playlist, where we show you tools that can help you in your own home workshop. Thanks for watching. There's more to come.